All right, well, let's do some ranking, shall we? Yeah, we'll get there. It's not too far. Force Unleashed 1 was all right. For 2, though, yeah, not so great. All right, so let's find Dark Forces. I want Dark Forces right here. Dark Forces. Give it about 3.5. So it's a little bit above average. Can be a little rough. I know, dude. I pulled up my Spotify and I'm like, what do I want to turn on? I'm like, I saw Ollie Ollie playlist there. I'm like, yeah. Ollie Ollie playlist is legit. Dark Forces. I would say the first one. I know. It took me a second to figure out what you're talking about. Yes, it just doesn't like skating games. I'm gonna tell you. He feels like Tony Hawk. I don't know why he didn't like Ollie Ollie. Didn't even try it. I don't think he even tried it, did he? Dark Forces. I'm probably gonna give this one a B tier. There's a lot of nostalgia juices that could probably bring me up to an A, but there is some fuckery that goes on in that game. So yeah, platforming in a shooter. Not to mention, like, there is a one Imperial section that you're going at towards the end to where, like, you have to find the door, and the door has little spots up in the top. That's how you get past it. That drove me nuts. So yeah, Dark Forces, probably get this one a B tier. You got Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. That's probably my second favorite Jedi game as far as the Dark Forces one. It almost goes S tier because of the live action cutscenes, but I think we give it A tier. It was a lot of fun. If I do my pass with it as well, I think we got that one A tier. I gave it a 4 out of 5, so that makes about sense. Not the most perfect game in the world, and if you don't have nostalgia for it, probably not going to be as high up on your list and rankings, but yeah, it's definitely up there for me. Next up, Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcasts. I did like this one, but I think I like Academy better. I still think Jedi Outcast is an A tier. It has its own fuckery, for sure. And the multiplayer was so good back in the day. It looks fucking stupid from afar, but it's so much fun to play. Is it as good as Jedi Knight, or is it as good as Dark Forces? I say we go up here. They didn't have live action cutscenes, that's kind of a bummer. But still Kyle Katarn. The effects with the lightsabers on the walls and stuff like that was rad. And the multiplayer was hella fun. Alright, here you go, Christian. We got Force Unleashed, the first one. By the way, I gave Outcast a 3 out of 5. Force Unleashed, I also gave a 3 out of 5. It was pretty good. We've played 22 games in the times and the years that we've been doing this. S tier. The first of Force Awakens. The Force Awakens. First Force Unleashed, I think it's S tier. It was still just slightly above average for me when I replayed it. That game has its jank, but it's very, very fun. I think Force Unleashed, probably the first one, gets A tier. I don't know if I would give it S tier. Up next, we have Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. I love that game. I think that's the best out of all of those. Yeah, that Star Destroyer scene probably gets in an S tier. You're right. Not to mention the engine that they used and all that, like the Havoc engine, the Euphoria engine, with like stormtroopers will grab each other. Like if you lift up a stormtrooper and he goes near another stormtrooper, they will try to grab each other or try to grab a piece of the environment. The destructibility of everything was really cool. That first intro with Vader that you play as and Kashyyyk, that's pretty fucking cool too. Its sequel, however, will have a different fate. All right. You know what? We can actually probably just do that one because we did that on... I lied. We played 23 games because that was a video game book club game, not a game that we played here on the stream, but I am not going to play that again just for the stream. But yeah, let's go. Force Unleashed goes up there. We got Jedi Academy. I think Jedi Academy is S tier. Make your own character. You have different type of lightsabers as far as you got double-bladed, dual-blade, single-blade. I think they did a real good job of that. S tier though? Is it really S tier? I don't think so. I think it stays an A tier with the other Jedi Knight games. No, I think it puts it beyond A tier. Not to mention, you don't play as Kyle Katarn, so. F, you're gonna say F for Jedi Knight Academy? You haven't played Jedi Knight Academy, you don't know. Alright, Rogue Squadron 64 3D. That is an S tier game. That goes to the tippy top. I gave that one 4.5 out of 5. Yes, Force Unleashed 2, we're gonna skip that one. But yeah, real quick. Rogue Squadron. I want to say that it's better than Rogue Squadron 2, but I don't actually think that. Because Rogue Squadron 2 for GameCube looks incredible. Plays incredible, has one of the best Death Star flight scenes in the trenches and everything like that. So that goes there. Boom. Get the fuck out of here, Force Unleashed 2. You sucked. Unfortunate for it. Rushed. Immediately after the first one came out, got super rushed. It's not great. Alright, Rogue Squadron Rogue Leader. I did get that one a 3.5 out of 5. I think I dropped it down a little bit. I think I was kind of disappointed in the level options. It's still a really good game. It's in the A or B tier though for me. I think I might keep it in the A tier. A nostalgia. But also it still looks really fucking good. Still looks really, really fucking good. There she is. Okay. Yeah. The first Rogue Squadron had some really good story beats too, as far as like the flow of all the missions. Rogue Leader was kind of like a little more of a greatest hits. You did get some really cool levels in there, I will give it that, but... Okay, Rebel Strike. Where the fuck are you gonna put you in your place? I'm gonna give it average. It's not a horrible game. There are some horrible levels on that game for sure. It still looks good, as long as you don't play the on-foot stuff. I think it's got some really good levels there as well. Yeah, the on-foot stuff is just really brought down. As far as the other two being an S and A rank, those on-foot levels and some of those speeder levels, it just drops it down to C for me. It just... That game gets rough. And I'm wondering if it had the same type of rushed production after the second one came out. Rebel Strike, Rogue Squadron 3, I gave 2.5 out of 5. Yeah, average, right? The big one. KOTOR 1. Probably one of the best, if not the best, Star Wars game ever. Incredible RPG. Good classic BioWare. I know we played it 2 years ago now. Such a good game. Still holds up. Got incredible writing in it. Super fun to customize your own Jedi. And if you don't know already, it's got an incredible twist at the end. Such a good twist. Yes. It's yes tier. Yes tier. Alright, what else we got? Bounty Hunter. I actually like Bounty Hunter. That remaster that they put out was also done pretty well. Definitely above average game. Don't know if I would put it on A tier though. Cutscenes are fun. That game has jank. And they want you to do this thing to unlock the special stuff. You just gotta find these bounties. So you're always putting up this little thing just to see if random NPCs have bounty. Bounty Hunter, 3.5 out of 5. Still a very good game. I think yes, it gets close to A tier, but it does not get all the way there. There's some crazy bullshit at the end. Not the good bullshit. All right, Battlefront 2. This is the 2017 Battlefront 2. Most of my opinion on that will come from the campaign. I did really like the campaign. That game is incredible looking. It is probably one of the prettiest Star Wars games for sure. Do have to give it a little bit of a knock. This could have been a perfect game for me, the 2017 one. But all the multiplayer bullshit with the upgradable cards or the loot cards that you get. If you go into a match now, you get smoked by dudes. You're like, oh, I got all these epic cards, all leveled up. It's just, that part of it was a disappointment. I know a lot of people talk shit on it. I know it had a resurgence recently, but I think that is still an A tier game. Could have been an S tier game. They fucked it up with the multiplayer and they got greedy. I still think it's an A tier game. That may be a spicy take. for some people. But I think it's an A tier game. Then you can play as Donald Glover. As Lando's Donald Glover. Donald Glover's Lando. Thought that was very cool. I'll definitely put money into that. Yeah, it's probably going to be the hottest take right there. Force Unleashed, Battlefront 2. I like Battlefront 2. And it does feel good until you get into those multiplayer matches where everyone has better epic cards and they are just dominating you. But, you know, it's the sweats, it's the tryhards. All right, Jedi Power Battles. They also did a remaster for this one. I know a lot of people got nostalgia for this game. I remember playing it with a neighbor. We had a lot of fun, but we could not get past Naboo. Like, it just... That game is fucking rough. It's unforgiving. And that last battle with Maul is fucking horrendous. I think I gave it a 2. So I think this is my first, like, D tier game. It's not complete trash. It has its fun stuff in it. But it's fucking rough. It is a real rough game. I think that's, yeah, we'll put that D tier. That feels about right. Give that one a 2 out of 5. All right, and we have Star Wars, as if you didn't know already. Empire at War. I gave Empire at War a 4 out of 5. I think it's really cool. I think it's a great idea. I've never played a game like that before. I'm sure there are other games like that. But just managing planets that you have, what troops you have on the ground, what aerial support you have, space support you have, and just like the chasing of it can get a little annoying because the timer is going. Sometimes, depending on which side you choose, your other player got invaded, you're trying to go after an objective, blah, blah, blah. But man, right at the end when you get that Death Star on the Imperial side, and you're just like, I'm rolling up to this planet. Oh man, we got a lot of troops on there on the ground. That's okay. I just gotta survive in this space area for a little while, and then I'm just gonna destroy the entire planet. It was surprising how much I enjoyed that one. We didn't do Forces Corruption. Let's see here. Yeah, Empire War definitely goes in the A tier list. All right, now we have the second MMO for Star Wars. That would be Star Wars: The Old Republic. I love this game. I still think the free-to-play is a great way to go. If you're curious about it, you can play through any of the classes all the way through with their stories, as far as like the main campaign. And then if you buy one thing, whether it is just a month subscription, whether it is, hey, I like this lightsaber, I'm gonna put $5 in on it, you get all that DLC, which I think is a really cool idea. Maybe you can just be free to play, and the things that you unlock, most of those will stay unlocked, even if you say you go free to play. So like, let's say you get that, that 1 month, you will still have all the DLC unlocked for free to play, which I think is awesome. I don't think it's S tier though, because of the free to play model, and it does feel a little bit dated, especially with them trying to keep up. They switched over from BioWare to this new company, which I think is doing a good job. It's also an EA game, so let's see them running that into the dirt. Star Wars Galaxies, we haven't played it on this channel yet, but Star Wars Galaxies, I had a lot of fun with it. It is a rough game. It is a very, very rough game. Star Wars Galaxies would probably go lower. S tier MMO? The best MMO out there is Final Fantasy XIV. I really did like that MMO. I just don't have as much time to play an MMO. If I can get working on my Steam Deck, I might get into it a little bit more too, but it's also a monthly kind of thing. I can't free to play from where I'm at. Yes, we will definitely, one of these times, we will get the fan server for sure on Galaxies. That will be something we dive into at some point. But there's not a huge amount of I'm not saying Galaxies, that's what I'm saying. There is not a huge amount of campaign in it, really. It was more of a you build your own fun kind of deal. You build your town. You can go on these like little raids and stuff like that here and there, and you can fight other towns depending on your faction. That was most of it. It was a very social MMO. So I was a Bothan Pistolier musician. So I would play music in the cantina. People would come in to get the buffs for my music, and they would go out in raids. And sometimes I would go out with them, but most of the time I just hang out in the cantina. It was Solaris. I think Solaris was our town. It was right outside of Naboo. You go past the falls. You go down to the south a little bit further. There's Solaris. It was a cool idea. All right. Yeah, but you get housing. Put everything like real early housing, like really cool housing. All the houses were differently designed based on the planet that you were at. That was a good fucking game. One of these days we'll get back into it for that public server or private server. All right, so we got the Old Republic up there. Guys, ready for our next F rank? Look at that. Star Wars Super Bombad Racing. Oh, S tier memories 1000% for Galaxies. Something that's completely opposite is Super Bombad Racing. This is the Star Wars kart racer. This is during the prequel times to where they were just trying to make as much prequel shit as possible, and they made this very low tier kart racer. Looks rough, plays rough, sounds rough. I had a little bit of fun with it, but for the most part, it's garbage. It's a garbage kart racer. It's a garbage Star Wars game. I gave it a 2 out of 5. I didn't give it a 1 out of 5. I gave it a 2 out of 5. I don't think anything got a 1 out of 5. There have been some 1.5s. Force Unleashed 2 got that. And speaking of 1.5s, we'll get there in a second. But let's go with... We're going to get into the Super era. Super Star Wars. So, I had these games all except for... I want to say I did not have Super Empire back in the day, which... I'll get to that here in a second. But I thought Super Star Wars was a lot of fun. It's a classic Super Nintendo game. I didn't think it was too difficult. I would say it is an average game. Especially when you're going back to the Super Nintendo generation, right? Comparing it to KOTOR. You're not going to be able to compare it to KOTOR. But in its own ranking of its own peers, I would say it is an average Star Wars game. It's fun. It's beatable. Yeah, not really quarter munchers, but like difficult on purpose to make the game last longer. Right? That's unfortunate. Now, with the new consoles, you do have rewinds and like just ways to kind of cheese past some of the more difficult sections, which I think is really nice as far as with Super Star Wars, but they did not do that with Empire, and they did not do that with Return of the Jedi. So, kind of wish they did, you know, get some saves, get some rewinds, because if I had a save or a rewind for Empire, I probably would have beaten it. Super Empire Strikes Back. This is the only Super one that I could not beat. I got to a point to where there was a ledge. I tried. And since it wasn't one of these retro like remakes or like ports or anything like that, I didn't have rewind. I didn't have personal save spots. We used the passwords. We got to that same level. It's the Cloud City level. I was with Chewie. For some reason, I just could not make that fucking jump, and that pissed me off so much. Because I got pretty far into it. I just could not get past that one section, and we were getting close. This one's an F tier for me. Some of the levels aren't horrible, but oh my god, that was a rough... That was probably... I want to say it was the worst game I played on stream so far. But I think Bombad Racing beats that, to be fair. Alright, moving on. Super Return of the Jedi. I did not like this one as much as Super Star Wars, but it had its moments. That Death Star trench run, go back and watch the last part of Return of the Jedi, Super Return of the Jedi that we have on YouTube here. Oh my god. And just going from Yavin to the Death Star, even that platforming section with like Han and them, fuck, that was rough. Holy shit. Like Christian, when Christian and Sudowodo talks about, you know, coin munchers or quarter munchers, they are made to like make you die. They are made to have you restart so that way you get more time out of the game, so you don't get pissed off for paying a whole bunch of money for a game that takes 2 to 5 hours, right? Yeah, I think Return of the Jedi is better than Empire. I do not think it's better than Super Star Wars. Super Star Wars, I think, was a lot more fun. All right. And then we have... I think we have our next A tier, S tier. That one we just finished recently. Where are you at? Jedi Fallen Order. The Jedi games. Outside of KOTOR, I think the Jedi games are probably the best Star Wars series. KOTOR is the best. The Jedi series, I think, are second best. Yeah, I mean, these are two very different games, right? You got older RPG, BioWare, and you just have really fucking good Star Wars character action game, I guess, if you will, with like a hint of Souls-ish in there, right? You got a parry, you got your little campfires, but it is nowhere near a Souls game. So I really enjoy it. Very playable. The story is incredible. The characters are incredible. Greasy Money Baby, baby girl Marin. And that ending, man. That fucking ending to Jedi Fallen Order. When you first see that ending and the shit goes down, it is one of the coolest things that happens to you in a Star Wars game. All right, and then the one we played just before this one, it's gonna be Star Wars Clone Wars. So, initially, I was giving Clone Wars like an average, maybe a little bit above average, like a 2.5 to 3 out of 5. And then, you fall down the YouTube rabbit hole, and then I completely forgot the Clone Wars had co-op PvE. So it's like a wave mode, like a horde mode. Christian, you would love this. One of these days when we hang out and we get bored, we will try to fuck around with this Clone Wars PvE section on here, because I just remember having so much fun with it. You choose your kind of tank or weapon, wherever you want to have. They put you down in like the middle section, and then there's like 3 or 4 different sections that waves of enemies can come through. And you and your friend are just sitting there beating down waves of enemies. I think there might be a boss at the very end of them, but it is a lot of fun. And I think even after like a handful of waves, you face each other and it becomes PvP, which is a lot of fun. So that, forgetting about all of that, that knocked it up for me. I think this is like a 3.5 out of 5. I would say Clone Wars did crash on me, but I don't know if that's the fault of the game or fault of the port. That last level is a little bit of an onslaught, but it's the final battle, right? You can be okay with that. The only enemy I really didn't like was the flying droids, because they would kamikaze you. They'd chase you real tight and then just drain your shield and then just hit you. But yeah, I think, does it go into A though? It could go into A. I would say it's on par with is it on par with Academy? I think it's good to say it's a B tier. It's above average game, for sure. You can have more fun with it with co-op. Yeah, a good 3 out of 5, maybe a 3.5 out of 5 if you're having a lot of fun with your friends, right? And lastly, the one that we did today was Racer's Revenge. So, it's been a very long while since I played Episode 1 Racer. With my memory, I want to say that Episode 1 Racer was better. Racer's Revenge deals a lot with KOs, so they kind of want you to take down the other ships. It's kind of like a big factor in the fighting in the racing of the game, and like the ending score, right? You get more credits to upgrade your ship more, the more people you KO. But as we saw it right towards the end there, Anakin was like fairly maxed out. I kind of went a little bit away from the bottom tier stuff, but like his top speed was maxed out, his damage was almost maxed out, his acceleration was almost maxed out, and the handling was almost maxed out, and we did maybe a couple KOs, one at least per match. I think I may have one match that did 2 KOs on, but that was it. So Racer's Revenge, I think I'm giving Racer's Revenge average. It was also very short. We beat it under 2 hours. We did the entire tournament under 2 hours. That is a rental game, 1000%. But to be fair, I would not try to pick this up used nowadays. It's very expensive, as it is unlocking the debug system, I guess, in PlayStation 5 games, if you know how to do that, is a key to do so. So that game is now worth hundreds of dollars. But if you want, I'm sure it's on, maybe on Xbox, but I know it's on the PlayStation Network. So if you have a PS4, PS5, I think it's under $10. It's like this, and Clone Wars is there. I think they even have like the older Bounty Hunter, not even the remaster. The remaster is there as well. But yeah, they have both of these games there. I'm pretty sure they're under $10. So if you want to play them and fuck around with them, they're pretty good. I know, man. Like, I've seen it before. It's always been like, I don't need it. You know, I got Episode 1 Racer. I've seen Racer's Revenge at used game stores, at the Milwaukee convention. And it was like, dude, that game was like $10, $15. You know what? Here's one of the things. If I had a time machine, there's a lot of things you would do to make money, right? You can go back in time and be like, oh, I'm going to get all these, or like, hey, I'm going to bet on these sports things and make a lot of money. If someone told me like, hey, I can just let you jump back 1 year. Just go back 1 year. I don't really want to do 2025 all over again. I really wouldn't want to do that. But if I had to, I'd be picking up as many copies as Racer's Revenge as I possibly could. And then sell them for hundreds of dollars. I think it's going for like $250 right now. But yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, that is the tiers we have. Yeah, you would become a kingpin of the Racer's Revenge. You'd be like that guy also who, there's a guy who bought all the Kabuto Pokemon cards. Not all of them, I'm sure there's still some out there, but he bought as many as he possibly could. And that, since he owned a majority of the Kabuto Pokemon cards, it raised the price of that card substantially. So if you're looking for, looking for a grift, if you're looking for a way to make some money, in a shady way, just buy all of one thing. Just buy all of one thing, and then you're the one who owns all of it. And if someone wants it, you're like, well, I'm the only one who has it. I'm not gonna get it from anyone else. A hustle, thank you. It's a hustle and bustle. All right, so we can talk about some of these other ones. I don't want to put them in just now. I'm not playing Atari games. I'm just not. We're not doing that. I mean, I've played KOTOR 2, but not in the stream. So we're going to play KOTOR 2 in the stream. We'll put Never Played down here on the games that I will play. We'll talk about them a little bit if I've played them before. So all these very much older games we will not be fucking around with. I don't care to mess around with a 32X game. I don't care to mess around with an Atari game. Atari games, I'm sorry. Atari games. Are they though? Are they cool? It's not about fake fan, it's about I don't care to look at fucking squares fight each other, right? No thank you. There's a lot of great games out there. Maybe they're a little bit better, but... Also, I don't have an Atari. I don't feel like trying to do Atari emulation. Maybe one day we'll have I'll do like a Star Wars Sunday stream to where we just play all the Atari games. We start dabbling with them a little bit. Maybe I'll have a fun day with that, but I'm not dedicating a day to one of those games for sure. So X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, X-Wing. I have played those games a little bit. One of these days we will get to one of them. I know I own a physical copy of one of them. I think it's X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter is what I own. But they're fun, kind of like flight sim games. Shadows of the Empire, we tried to do that a little bit, but we had some problems with the Steam version of it. I do have it on Nintendo 64, so we might fuck around with that. But the PC version... Oh yeah, we'll definitely save the list. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. But the PC version of Shadows of the Empire has cutscenes. So I want to play the PC version of Shadow of the Empire. So we'll get that working one of these days. But yeah, definitely. Right there. Same with it. X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Again, dabbled with those. I have played Shadows of the Empire way back in the day. I have beaten it. It can be a rough game. Nostalgia factor would probably bring it closer to a B for me. But it's probably more of a C. Some of those later levels can kind of bring it down to a D just because of how rough the game can play. Next on the list, I do own this game, Masters of Terrascasi. I remember playing it at a Walmart kiosk and thinking, man, this is kind of cool. I don't own a PlayStation, but I might get that game if I had a PlayStation. I would have been sorely mistaken. I mean, if we're talking best Star Wars fighting games, We all know what the S tier is, Christian. Oh shit, we didn't do that one. I don't have that one on this list. Fuck, we missed a game. Christian, what game am I talking about? What is the actual best Star Wars fighting game? Yes, sir. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I actually liked kind of the upgrading and stuff like that you would get for the campaign. I thought it was a lot of fun. The campaign did really well. Some of it can be a little jank. But there's a special place in my heart I have for this game. Christian got me a copy after I no longer had a copy. And the multiplayer portion of it, as far as the fighting game. This is the best Star Wars fighting game. I think I would get Episode 3 an A tier. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just you put it in there as soon as I put it up there. I think that deserves an A tier. It could use a little more polish on the fighting aspect of it, on the campaign of it, as far as just like in the game. But yeah, that was just an incredible package. And they put out that game, I'm pretty sure, like a week or two before the actual movie came out, and you got cut scenes from the movie in that game while you're playing with it. Now, you know what's gonna happen, right? You know, you got the fights in the trailers and everything like that, but it is a prequel to a trilogy, so you kind of know whether, it's not like you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen to Anakin. Oh, I wonder what's gonna happen to Obi-Wan. Like, you know, but you want to see him fight. I thought that was wild. They put all that out before the movie came out. Insane. Yeah, forgot about that one. Yeah, we have 23 games. All right, moving on. I have not. This is the one part of Dark Forces I have not played yet. So this is Mysteries of the Sith. This is a sequel, not a sequel, a DLC or expansion or whatever you wanted to call it back then. Little side thing of Dark Forces 2. Jedi Knight, A tier game. This one you play as Mara Jade, who is no longer canon, but becomes Luke Skywalker's wife. So that's cool. She's got a purple lightsaber. One of these days I'll get back to it. I just kind of, not Mary Jane, Mara Jade. But you're not off. That's not far off, right? You literally changed 2 letters in there. you take the A to it, took Y to an A, take the N to a D. So who knows? Maybe whoever created Mara Jade was smoking a little of the hashish. Yeah, get the M count up, bro. Get the M count up real high. I don't think we'll ever play Yoda Stories. I think it's an older PC game. Rebellion I do have on the list. Never played it. I don't think I've seen much of it anyways. We won't be able to play the Star Wars Trilogy arcade, I don't think. Also, I feel like you need to be in the seat to really enjoy Star Wars arcade. So I don't think we're gonna mess with any of those like arcade games. Maybe like the older ones that are just, basic, just little stick and button games. But these where we actually have like a cockpit and stuff like that, cockpit seat. We're gonna leave that as. Episode 1 Racer. That's an incredible game. I could see that easily go up to S tier. I do want to play it again before I do rank it, but I can see that 1000% being an S tier game. Star Wars Phantom Menace. I have played that game. I don't think I beat it back in the day. That game's fucking rough. That game is real rough. We'll get to it. One of these days, you'll see why it's rough, but Lord of mercy. I could not beat that game to save my life. X-Wing Alliance is just another one of those fighters. Like these, we'll probably find out what the better ones are of all these. I think X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter has most of X-Wing and TIE Fighter in it. But that's the one I own on PC as far as disc-wise. That's just going to be... One of these days we'll be dabbling with those, or we'll see if we can get through all of it. You gotta play Episode 1 Racer before a new Racer comes out. I know. We'll once they announce the date for Galactic Racer, that's when we'll announce when we'll do Episode 1 Racer. Get that in before the new comes out, right? Battle for Naboo. This is one of those Rogue Squadron type of spin-offs. I want to say it was good, but I can't remember. Pretty sure I have it. It's a 64 game. I want to say it was on PS1, PS2 as well. But another one of those Rogue Squadron likes. Pretty good. Star Wars Demolition. I own. I've never played it. I have wanted to play it since I was a child. When I was a kid, I was seeing it in the magazines for Star Wars Demolition. I'm like, oh shit, Star Wars Twisted Metal? That sounds rad. The cover looks super cool. I hear it's a pretty rough game. So I think me as a child may have been a little disappointed if I did get it. But I didn't have a PlayStation back in the day. All right, Force Commander. We might get to it. That's probably one of those, never really heard much about it. We'll probably dabble. Game Boy games, we might try some of those. I know some of those can be pretty good. Galactic Battlegrounds, heard a lot of great things about that. RTS, Star Wars. Looking forward to messing with that one of these days. I think it'll impress me like Empire at War did, but yeah, never played it. I think I may have tried to start it up before. Star Wars Obi-Wan. This is going to be, I want to say a treat. A treat maybe for the viewers. But this is original Xbox exclusive. You cannot get this anywhere other than the original Xbox. I don't even think, I'm sure it's backwards compatible. So you might be able to pick it up as a backwards compat through the Xbox store. But that, I remember being a very rough game as well. We will play it one of these days, but it is thick and rough. Star Wars Starfighter. We'll definitely play that one of these days. I remember being pretty decent. I know that Jake likes that game a lot. Yeah, another Rogue Squadron-esque type of game. I think there's a lot more space missions in this one. Yeah, another one of those like Battlefront Naboo, which is kind of a Rogue Squadron type of spin-off. Attack of the Clones or Clone Wars for Game Boy Advance. We'll probably mess around with those advanced games. I hear some of them can be decent. This is just clone stuff for Galactic Battlegrounds. Jedi Starfighter. I feel like that's one that we tried to start before, but I don't think we actually played. But another one of those, like Battlefront Naboo. I think Jedi Starfighter was a little better because it had like special abilities for the people that you play. So, God, I want to say I played that recently. Maybe I just did it on the side when I got it. I know we didn't do it for the stream. Yeah, more. What the fuck? Flyleaf Falcon, never played it. New Droid Army, never played it. Star Wars Trilogy, never played it. Clone Wars and DS, never played it. KOTOR 2, we will 1000% be getting that one of these days, probably this year. I do want to try to mess around with some of these older Battlefront games. I don't believe the first one had a campaign, but I do know the second one did. I might be thinking of the new Battlefront. So we'll be definitely touching on these. Battlefront 2, the original, has an incredible campaign. I love that one. At least I think I remember it being incredible. So yeah, I will definitely be touching on the old Battlefronts, just not the one that Aspire put out. It was trash. Republic Commando. We had tried playing this once. I think we had some issues with the game, maybe? I can't remember why we didn't do it, but Republic Commando will definitely be up there for sure. Empire War again. We're not going to do Forces of Corruption, I don't think. That is a very long game. Maybe just put it in the back burner. Maybe one of these days type of deal. Lethal Alliance. Kind of heard about it. I want to say that it's also a not mobile game, but like a PSP game. One of these days we'll try to mess around with it. I think the same with Rogue. Renegade Squadron is also like a PSP type of game. I want to say I messed around a little bit with Renegade Squadron, but I did not touch Lethal Alliance. Got Lego games. I don't know. Like, Lego games are fine. I have played this one, Lego Force Unleashed, and I did like it. It was pretty cool. I just wish it wasn't Lego, you know? And borrow your PSP? Oh, yeah, we can do that. Did Vita not do PSP games? I don't think so, right? Yeah, private server. Yeah, dude, there's definitely private servers for those Battlefront. I may borrow your 3DS or DS to play those games once I do get a hold of them. Lego games aren't Star Wars games, aren't Lego games. Thank you. Yes, no. Digital PSP, okay. Yeah. And the store for Vita is gone now, right? So we can't fuck around with that at all. As far as like downloading the digital version. Or they did walk that back, I can't remember. But yeah, Lego games are Lego games. I don't think we need to go through them. I've seen some of these other ones, like, these are one of those, like, once we get towards the end, I'm like, we run out of Star Wars games to play. We might touch on some of these Clone War games. I've heard some alright stuff. I know they had bangers. Killzone Mercenaries, great. Yeah, I should be looking out for more Vita games. I need to get my library back up for that. Elite Squadron, I think that is also a Vader or PSP game. I'm not playing a Kinect game. That's Star Wars Arcade. So we will not be playing Vader Immortal. That is a VR game. But I will say that I have played a little bit of it when my friend had a Quest. And it's fun. It can be a lot of fun. They had like a training mode where you had your lightsaber and the droids are coming after you kind of deal. Like Vader's training. A lot of fun to play. A lot of fun to play. Deflecting bolts and stuff like that. Super, super fun. We might jump into Battlefront 1 at some point as just like a day for fun stuff. It has zero campaign. It's just a multiplayer game. And it's just an alright multiplayer game. One of these days we'll get to it. Star Wars Squadrons. I got my hopes up for that one. I thought it was going to be like a spiritual successor to like the Squadron games, the Rogue Squadron games. It is a VR game. It is a game that was made for VR that they also put just for normal play, non-VR play. But you can kind of tell, unfortunately. Yeah, maybe one of these days we'll fuck around with it. Maybe try to finish up the campaign on that one. And then we also have Jedi Survivor. We will definitely get to that one of these days. I liked it. Open world things can be a little much. I think it was unnecessary, but you know, made a lot of PCs crash back in the day. I mean, it's time. I need time. I mean, I have played plenty of these games down here. Not a lot of the Game Boy Advance or the DS or anything like that as far as handheld games, but I've played some of these X-Wing TIE Fighter games. I have played Shadows. I have touched Master Teräs Käsi. I've played these two Star Wars games. I played this game. None of these, none of these, none of these, none of these, none of these. I played. Have not played because it's a bunch of more mobile. Played one of these Lego Star Wars games. Yeah, majority of these are either very old Star Wars games or handheld ones. Yeah, Alex, how nice of you to join us. I hope your day's going well. I'm just joking. But yeah, I think we're not going to be touching a majority of these. Like I said, we might do an Atari day. Oh yeah, if I don't know Lego, I don't know Star Wars, sure. I played and beat the Force Awakens one. It was a lot of fun. I get it. One of these days we will probably go into some of those Lego Star Wars games. I just think the other Star Wars games are better. And it's a Lego game. For some reason, just Lego games, they don't hit. You all have a wonderful day. Thank you, Christian and Alex, for hanging out. If you're watching this on the YouTubes, twitch.tv/testingroomlive. That's where we do Star Wars Sundays every Sunday morning around 8:30 Central Standard Time. You all have a great day, and I will see you guys next week. I don't know what game I'm going to play. It's going to be a surprise. So, have a good one, and I will check you all later. And